Hello, I'm Daniel.
I am Catherine.
Welcome to our home.
So we spoke to 2 or 3 other ID firms. They were all pretty big. I did a fair amount of research and due diligence, looked on their Instagram pages, and I really liked what I saw. And we spoke with 2 or 3 other designers. We spoke with Kelvin at length, and Kelvin was just really proactive, really engaged, he had some great ideas, even did a 3D mock-up. So we could see that visual elements and the ability to work collaboratively and have someone so responsive really made iPlan stand out. The other thing that made them stand out was the timeframes. So we asked for a very aggressive timeframe of 3 months for the work to be completed, and iPlan was one of the few that came in under the required budgets initially, and within the required timeframe.
I think the other thing that stood out for iPlan was that he was very clear from the outset that he was committed to delivering our vision, not his view of what our vision should be. And I think that that distinguished him very positively. We immediately clicked. You know, his creativity, his attention to detail. We have never done a renovation before, so we didn't know what we didn't know, if that makes sense. And so Kelvin was, as Catherine said, very patient, talked us through the process.
So one of the things that we knew we wanted early on was a feature wall in the living room to really try and draw your eye to one element. And initially we went for a little bit more modern than coastal, and so the big part of the feature wall was marble. And when we looked at it on the 3D visual, something that just didn't sit right with the marble. Because I wanted a little bit more of that coastal element, we decided to go with more neutrals and a little bit of wood. The second thing I was really big on was the storage. So I wanted something that would hide the bathroom over there. I wanted something that would blend the storage with that toilet to try and hide it, but also give us a little bit more space. I like clean areas, and so as much hidden storage as possible was good. And Kelvin found a really good way to incorporate that theme back into it by hiding the storage with some wood. So you'll see there's some fluted wood over the place, and it just sort of picks up that coastal theme. The 3D rendering that Kelvin used was so accurate that when we moved into the place, I was sort of looking for elements that he incorporated into 3D rendering that weren't there. I mean, what you see is pretty much what we got. I think the light from outside was even incorporated into the 3D rendering. The kitchen looks exactly the same. And it's amazing to have that 3D rendering because you can see your vision playing out and you can tweak things. And it really helped to bring the visual to life in a way that's more powerful than just the spoken discussion and floor plans, which are a bit static.
I would say one additional aspect that really speaks well of Kelvin and increased our comfort level with him, and indeed validated our decision to go with Kelvin and iPlan, was his responsiveness. It was very clear from the beginning that he was really dedicated and threw himself into this project. He would respond to the spectrum of questions we'd have, from the very broad and strategic to the mundane, and he always did so incredibly quickly, at frankly all hours of the day and night. We often asked ourselves when he slept, and that responsiveness and the patience and the detail with which he answered a lot of our questions really helped reduce our stress levels, because again, we were new to this process. We've never undertaken something like this. So to get that insight back where we're not sitting and waiting and wondering really was helpful in terms of navigating what inherently is a very stressful process. I would rate theiplanstudio as 9 out of 10.
As would I. Thank you, theiplanstudio.
Thank you, theiplanstudio.